بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمد ونصلي على رسول الكريم أما بعد. Alhamdulillah, we are now on part 23 of spiritual discourses, and we are focusing on the evil of pride, its consequences in dunya and in the akhirat. Imam Ghazali Rahmatullah alayhi writes in Ihya al-Ulumuddin that Hazrat Isa alayhi salam said, "He is good whom Allah taught the revealed book, and who does not die being an oppressor." Nabi Akram sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, "Every passion-loving man, every proud man, every hoarder, and every hypocrite are dwellers of Jahannam, and every poor and weak man is a dweller of Jannah." Let us look how severe this warning is. Isa alayhi salam is saying that he is good whom Allah has taught the revealed book, and whom does not die being an oppressor. Because in most cases, an oppressor is one who is proud. And if a person has got ilm of kitab, if he's got knowledge of the kitab, then inshallah he will not be an oppressor. He will not be a tyrant. Now when we generally think of this word oppressor, then immediately our mind goes to a ruler, a prime minister, a king, a president. But in reality, every person is a potential oppressor. A person in the kitchen can be an oppressor. A person in the workplace can be an oppressor. A person running a small shop can be an oppressor. A person running a firm can be an oppressor. A person running a huge factory can be an oppressor. A person running issues of parliament can be an oppressor. A person in parliament can be an oppressor. Parliament members can be oppressors. How? The one in the kitchen, the lady of the kitchen can oppress those who are subservient to her. And the lady of the house can suppress the attendants, the maid. The lady in the house can oppress her children, her daughter-in-law. The lady in the house can be rude and vulgar and behaving out of arrogance and stupidity, stemming from pride and hurting the feelings of those who are under her. The mother-in-law, daughter-in-law difficulties, the mother-daughter difficulties. So just in the kitchen you can have those who are oppressed and the oppressor. A person running a small workshop, a mechanic, an engineer, he can be oppressor. That all those who are under him, the person oppresses. Why? Because of pride and arrogance. And Hazrat Isa alayhi salam is saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying via Isa alayhi salam, he is good whom Allah taught the revealed book, and who does not die being an oppressor. That means if you are an oppressor, you are not good. So this can be parliament member who can be an oppressor because walking around haughtily proud and parliament member. And you see how they drive, blue lights flashing, this, that and the other going on. Hato, bacho, hato, move, we coming. Same which happened in the times of the kings and their entourage is happening nowadays. The mode of transport changed, but the behavior has not changed. That's why Nabi Akram Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is saying every passion-loving man, every proud man, every hoarder, and every hypocrite are dwellers of Jahannam. And every poor and weak man is a dweller of Jannah. Here Nabi Akram Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is listing people who are going to Jahannam. Every passion-loving man. Because when a man, he does not control himself and does not become disciplined. That is why the month of Ramadan has been given to us Muslims, that we learn to control our passion. Why? Because if a man is able to control his passion and does not let it loose, that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us Shariat which is complete and given us the institution of marriage, legal satisfaction of passion. Deen of Islam is natural, it catering for the passion of man. La Rabbaniya fi Deen, there is no celibacy in Islam, there is no seclusion where a person does not marry. That is why you will find these monks and nuns who do not marry, there are so many books written about their nefarious activities. What happens behind the walls and what happens in the dark and what happens in those rooms and what happens behind those high walls and what happens behind those cloaks. Why? Because it is against naturalism, it is against natural behavior of man that you tell him not to marry. It is against natural behavior of woman if you tell them, listen, you cannot marry. Why? Because there has to be explosion after that. And when that explosion takes place, then there is no control of the passion. And every proud man will go to Jahannam. And every hoarder and every hypocrite. Hoarder, because you are going against human rights. If a person hoards basic commodities, then any logical person would say that person deserves Jannah. Why? Because you are oppressing the poor, needy, destitute. And you want to now hoard basic commodities. If in a country the basic commodity is rice and wheat, and a person now decides that he is going to hoard it so that later on, when the prices are better and higher, that person will say, I'll sell it then. Meanwhile, the public is dying. And meanwhile, the public is put into difficulty, harassment, searching for food like vagabonds. And because this person is affecting human rights, this person will go to Jahannam. And every hypocrite, Nabi Akram Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is saying, is a dweller of Jahannam. Hypocrite, as per Quran Kareem, will go into the lowest ebb, lowest level of Jahannam. Why? Because a hypocrite is one who is a wa'ada khalafa. He makes a promise and he'll go against it. So Nabi Akram Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is saying in another hadith that he who is best amongst you in conduct will be the dearest and nearest to me in the next world. The most distant from me amongst you and the object of the most hatred are those persons who are talkatives and trouble givers and mutafayyiquns. Mutafayyiquns I will explain to you inshallah next week. Here Nabi Akram Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is saying, he who is best amongst you in conduct will be the dearest and nearest to me. That's how much stress Nabi Akram Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is placing towards good conduct. And these days we have restricted our Islam to the masjid. Alhamdulillah, to some extent, people are now going to the masajid, filling the masjid. But that is not all. The masjid is where we're supposed to learn good conduct, good practice, good behavior, good character. The masjid is supposed to teach us how to interact, how to deal with our fellow human beings. The masjid is a place where spirituality is supposed to come out from. Masjid is our spiritual headquarters, not only for salah, to train us in our giving our zakat, but not only to prepare us to go for Hajj and Umrah, not only to give us the encouragement to keep our fast, but to complete our character, to perfect our buying and selling, to be able to smile and help the neighbor, to be able to be kind to those who are less fortunate than us. And that is good character. Unfortunately, many a time a person thinks that we are roll-up Muslims. When we go to the masjid, we roll our pants. And when we come out of the masjid, we roll down our pants. And in the masjid, we think we are now Muslims. Outside the masjid, we do what we want to. Rob, steal, lie, deceive. We display qualities of slander and jealousy, greed and vanity. And then, the most hated and distant from Nabi Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam are the talkatives, the trouble makers and the trouble givers. I remember when a person talks, most of the time people talk and then think, instead of thinking and then talking. And a person talks and without considering the sentiment, the feeling of another person. A person talks from a platform of arrogance and pride. That's why he is distant from Nabi Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And a person talks not realizing the consequences of words, because the tongue is a double-edged sword. And the tongue is smooth, you get smooth talkers, glib tongue. And we should be careful of those who talk, especially in ideology, in beliefs. And these days there are enough around, smooth talkers. Those who present Islam in such a manner you get enthralled, you get thrilled. But in reality they are corrupt. Their belief is corrupt. Ideology is corrupt. Philosophy is corrupt. But because they are smooth talkers, glib tongue, and because now they can mesmerize a crowd, you and I, we have to be very cautious and careful that these people are in reality what? Trouble givers and trouble makers. And we should know that Nabi Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the talkatives and the trouble givers, they are far from him on the day of judgment. Oh, they are going to be hated. Now the trouble givers, you'll find people unnecessarily poking their nose into other people's affairs and business and matters. Purposely, they go out of their way to find out what that man is doing, what that fellow is doing, what's happening in that house, what's happening in that business. And unnecessarily going out of their way to make trouble other places. And it comes embodied a person that he will not rest for 24 hours unless he picks up the phone and put others into difficulty. Unfortunately, that person, he will be very far from Nabi Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the day of Qiyamah. And Nabi Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying that he'll be most distant from Nabi Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he'll be the object of most hated. Now, to be far from Nabi Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a calamity on itself. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us ability to be near Nabi Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam all the time. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.